Welcome back to Reading Bear. Today, we will take a look at some new I Don't Work Here Lady stories. And if you enjoyed my content, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and post some bear emojis in the comments. Let's go!
The next one is titled, Do You Know Where the Instant Potatoes Are? This is actually a feel-good one, for a bit of flavor change. I do love the Wild Rager ones, but this one happened to me this week whilst grocery shopping and I thought I'd share. For context, I was in my local Wegmans supermarket, best grocery stores ever, and the uniform is khakis and some bright-colored polo with logos and name tags. I'm wearing light blue shorts, an electric blue shirt, and a fanny pack across my chest. Kinda didn't look like an employee at all. More context, I'm using their in-store scan app for faster checkout and it makes my phone bleep loudly. So like I could understand navigating through Mask Life by sound, I might resemble an employee or at least Instacart shopper. I'm in the Asian cuisine aisle looking for rice. Woman, older, post-it note in hand, no smartphone to be seen. Hey, excuse me, I'm in here shopping for a friend and she wants instant potatoes, and I've never bought them and have no idea where to look for them. Can you help me figure out where they are? Me, already on my phone in their lookup app looking for the specific rice my fiancé wanted. I know they're nearby. Hang on, let me check, search, find. Yeah, they're over in aisle 21B, just a couple over from here. As I said this, I'd turned and she saw the logo on my shirt. That's clearly 30-something, never grew up and decidedly not employee. Woman, oh dear, I'm so sorry, I thought you worked here. You're so kind to help me anyway even though you didn't have to. Me, yeah, well I had my phone out and the app open anyway, figured might as well save you trying to chase down an employee. Woman, look at you getting some good karma in. Thanks. And wanders off to go grab her friend the instant potatoes. The next one is titled, If You Need to Speak to My Boss Come one Sundays at 8 a.m. or 11 a.m. So way back in the innocent year of 2015, I had a job at my church. I was one of two receptionists, secretaries. I worked with a lovely older lady named June or Judy, I don't remember which, but let's go with June. I was fresh out of high school when I started this job and was very excited. Working at my church, most of my job was taking calls, running small errands, directing people to the right place, the pastor's office, daycare, support groups, etc. Now it is very obvious that I work in a church, but the church's phone number was very similar to a doctor's office. So sometimes when I got a phone call I would answer with, First Baptist Church, this is Mary, how may I help you? When that person asked for Dr. Smith, I knew they were asking for the doctor's office that was down the street from us, and not the pastor, who a doctorate in theology and psychology, and whose name was not Dr. Smith. Most people would understand and just hang up, but some like this lovely lady who is Karen did not. Names have been changed for reasons. It was around noon, I was about to get lunch for me and June when the phone rang at my desk. I answer with my usual me, First Baptist Church, this is Mary, how may I help you? Karen, yes, I have an appointment today. Me, okay, may I ask who with? We had several pastors and other members of church staff. Karen, well you should know. Me, there are several members of the church staff. If I could just get the name of who you're seeing today. Karen, I'm seeing Dr. Smith, or Dr. Kamen. I don't remember. Me, fully realizing the problem, oh I'm sorry, this is First Baptist Church of Raccoon City. If you want I can give you the number for the doctor's office. Karen, this isn't the office of Dr. Smith. Me, no, like I said, this First Baptist Church of Raccoon City. If you need to speak with a pastor or someone on church staff I can transfer you. Karen, well can you take a message to Dr. Smith? Me, I can't, I work for this church, not the doctor's office. Karen, you're a secretary aren't you? Give this super private message to Dr. Smith. Karen then proceeds to give me super private medical information, which is super gross. Me, ma'am, I can't deliver that message. It's not my job. Karen, then let me speak to your boss. Me, wanting to this since forever, well if you want to speak to my boss he pretty much has an open line 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But if you really want to get personal with him come to First Baptist. Our service times are 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. If you want to get a good brunch to come in at 11. Also, our Bible study groups meet at 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. We also have small groups that meet Sunday, Wednesday, Friday nights with various church leaders. Would you like a list? I never had someone hang up so fast in my life. The next one is titled, I Am the Owner, He Is My Son. Quick intro. This was a funny story that had happened to me a few years ago. My parents are one of the founders of a resort and is chairman of the board of directors. I have sat in a few of the meetings so everyone knows that I'm boss son. I got homeschooled so the majority of my friends are basically senior staffs and people in the board. Pretty sad, huh? Cast, me, Noah. I look a lot younger than my age and being 5'7" doesn't help. Dad and mum, fiance, Julia, sister, Emma, manager, Jack, crazy lady, Karen. I was on vacation with my fiance, Julia, and my sister, Emma. Julia, and Emma were staying at my dad's resort for a week or two because we were visiting my mother. As we entered the resort, I noticed the parking lot was packed. It was midsummer day, and saw a few cars roaming around looking for parking spots. My family has a few private parking spots and I noticed that his car wasn't here but my mother's car was. As I walked to the reception, most of the staff know who I am. One of the staff working saw me and walked over to greet me. There were quite a people in line waiting to check in. Ma'am, mum is currently in a meeting. Would you like me to bring your luggage to your room? Yeah, thanks. Julia kept a bag that had our swim clothes in. Sometime later, after a bit of swimming, we went to the restaurant to eat lunch. I had put on a blue shirt and was still in my grey swim trunks. The clothing looked similar to the uniform that the waiters were wearing. They were almost identical except the only difference was that it didn't have the word staff on it. This will come in handy later. While we were chatting in the restaurant, I heard some lady say, "Hey you," rather rudely from somewhere behind me. I first thought it was just someone trying to get the attention of a waiter, so I continued chatting, eating with Julia and Emma. As I was chugging down some ginger ale after regretting trying my sister-in-law's food, which she purposely did not tell me was pretty spicy. She knows I don't handle spicy food well and probably never will. Can anyone else relate? Someone suddenly roughly grabbed my shoulder from behind and I almost choked on my soda, spitting it all over my sister. Straight up karma, I gotta say, haha, EWWW gross. Was Emma's response while my fiancé stood straight up and was about to ask me if I was alright, but here comes, you know who, Karen, interrupting my sweet fiancé. Babe, are you? Hey, I've been trying to get your attention for a while now. Karen yelled out. Me being someone who doesn't get mad that easily, looked up and asked her politely, do you need anything, ma'am? Why are you eating with the guests and not doing your stupid job? Karen said. I caught on pretty quickly and knew that she thought I was a staff from what I was wearing, but I was getting a little annoyed from how much she was yelling at me while she was a foot away from me. Ma'am, I don't work. I tried saying, shut up, I'm a VIP here. Karen continued yelling. I continued to talk calmly to Miss Loudmouth while raising my voice a little. Excuse me, I don't work here. Slap, don't you use that tone with me, brat. As she slapped me, her long nails cut into my cheek, leaving a long cut and started bleeding. My fiancé almost went pale seeing as blood started to drip off my face. My sister immediately started to call our mother to come. The manager was walking over when he heard Karen yelling but then broke into a run and hurried over when he saw Karen slap me. Ma'am? Noah, you alright? Jack had said. Jack was someone who has worked for the resort for a few years, so he was pretty casual with me. My fiancé had put a piece of napkin on my cheek to try to stop the bleeding. Are you the manager? I want this staff fired, he is unprofessional. I don't know why you hired an idiot. Karen pointed at me and spoke as if she was the owner. Ma'am, he doesn't work here. Jack started explaining, you're trying to cover him? I want you fired as well. I never knew someone's face could get as red as a tomato until that day. I saw my mother running over with 2 security guards, and when she saw my fiancé holding a blood-red napkin against my face and Karen yelling at me, I thought she was going to explode as she rushed over to me. My sister had informed our mother about what was happening and what Karen had done. My mother almost yelled, what on earth happened? Guards, arrest her. What do you mean arrest me? Who are you to do that? Karen was struggling in the guard's hands. I am the owner, you dare to slap my son? My God, the face Karen made when she heard those lines, I won't ever forget it, haha. She was as white as snow while her eyes and mouth were wide open. After she was taken away, some of the other customers started clapping. My mother ran up to me to see my face. She spoiled me when I was younger and was always defensive of me as if she was a mother protecting her cub. She was the one who had me do homeschooling after she was told I was getting bullied in primary, middle school. After we had taken care of the cut on my face, which I ended up needing stitches for, no worries, the scar faded. My mother told me that Karen had been charged with second-degree assault and will be spending the following month in jail. The next one is titled, I used to work here. I am retired 2.5 years from my local Kroger store. I live right next door. It took me 70 seconds to go from my front door to the time clock. I loved working at Kroger. I was a cashier, service desk employee. I was known by all my coworkers and most of the customers. I'm kind of hard to miss. I am a female 5 feet 10 inches with bright red hair, so I'm remembered by most people. Due to an injury on the job, I was forced to take a disability retirement. I am now 65. After I retired, I was in the store almost every day. Since I lived so close, I rarely bought groceries. I just went to the store when I needed something. And in my boredom, I usually needed something. I got to see my friends at work and all the regular customers I loved so much. Even with 2.5 years going by, people still recognize me and ask me all kinds of questions. Since I know the store layout, where everything is, have all the time in the world, I am happy to direct anyone where they need to go. I just tell them because of the pandemic the policies have changed so much, I could not possibly help them in that regard. I now only go to the store once a week. Helping people with a smile is a lot easier than being a bee. I know, this was very unsatisfying, but we need a little uplifting once in a while. The next one is titled, Definitely Weird but Somewhat of a Wholesome IDWHL Moment. Background: so last year at the county fair, a certain membership warehouse store I'll call Price Club was giving out a free day pass to their store, and the day before it expired I went there to check it out. They have great cakes, open mouth smile. I'm wearing a navy blue, black t-shirt and jeans shorts, so nothing like the club's employee uniform. It was Friday late afternoon, early evening, and I enjoyed the free samples. Cast me equals I wonder who this could be. Ol equals old but not senior citizen old lady. PJ equals pallet jack employee. Enough backstory, so here's what happened. I'm shopping minding my own business, and a somewhat old but not senior citizen old came up to me and attempted to put a pair of glasses into my hand, but they fell into my cart instead. All softly, I almost didn't hear her. Here, someone dropped these. Before I could say anything, she turned and left. Me internally, did I hear her right? Maybe she thought I dropped them, but I'm wearing mine, or she thought my cart was hers. I'm not dressed like I work her, so maybe you can never really wash the retail off you completely. So since I was finishing up, I headed up. I planned to just hand them to the cashier and be done with it, but I saw an actual employee in the actual uniform with a pallet jack, so I knew he worked there and he wasn't on break or not on the clock. Me, sorry to bother you, but some lady randomly handed these to me. I think she thought they were mine. Can you take care of these for me, thanks? PJ, sure, thanks. I'll take care of them. Me, thank you and sorry again. PJ, no problem. I continued up to checkout and stand in line, lost in my thoughts of if standing in another long line for their pizza is worth it. It is, FYI. When Ol comes up dragging this middle-aged lady. I swear the middle-aged lady looked like she was a flag in the wind with the way she was being dragged, like feet flowing behind her dragged. In that moment I could read middle-aged lady's face and knew she was having the same thought as me. What in the world is going on? Ol, still barely hear her. She is so soft-spoken and harder this time due to her panting out of breath. Glasses. Me, oh, I thought you thought they were mine or something, so I handed them to an employee. Don't know which one though, maybe check customer service? Remember in on a guest trial pass. Ol had a look of shock and horror, like she just gave away the glasses to a random stranger. Middle-aged lady was WTF and GTFO right away and booked to the service desk. Ol finally came to and just left. I can only hope and guess that PJ turned the glasses in and middle-aged lady got them, but legend says that middle-aged lady is still looking for her glasses. I know, no drama or cops, but still weird. The next one is titled, I just want to eat my lunch, sir, please let me leave. I'm so glad I found this sub because none of my coworkers understood why I was so pissed off by this interaction. This happened a few months ago. I'm at the grocery store grabbing lunch on my break. It's pretty busy, so I have to wait in line for the self-checkout. 2 spots next to each other open up, so I start scanning my items while the guy behind me in line walks up to the register on my right and states, to no one in particular, yeah, I'm gonna need an over 21. I figure he's trying to get the attention of the service desk, which is less than 5 feet to my left, but as I'm paying for my items I can feel his eyes on me. I gather up my items and just as I'm turning to leave, this dude clears his throat and sidesteps toward me, penning me in between him and my register. Hello? I need you to call someone to check my ID. He lifts up a case of beer. I'm wearing jeans and a sweaty undershirt, holding a sushi roll, bag of hot Cheetos, and my car keys. Literally directly behind me is a service desk where a woman is wearing a store polo, red apron, name tag, and lanyard. When I tell him I don't work there, and apologize for some reason OFC, he huffily says, "Well, you're holding keys, so I thought you're an employee." My co-workers are mostly older women, and when I got back and told them, they said I should be flattered that he mistook me for a teenager and that one day I would miss that kind of attention. I highly doubt it, lol. The next one is titled, "Where is the concrete?" I was shopping in a Midwest hardware store chain. I had worked there before a few years ago. Same for my husband. So both of us knew the store well. Employees there had to either wear a blue apron or vest. But the store's color was green. On this day, I was wearing a green shirt. We were in the hardware department figuring out what screws to get for a project. Behind me, I heard a voice asking, "Excuse me." I turned to see a tiny older man. Really older. Probably in his 80s. "What's up?" I asked. I figured we were probably in his way. We were in the same spot for a really long time, and he probably didn't want to get too close due to current events. "Where is your concrete?" he asked. "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't work here," I told him. "But I know where the concrete is. What do you need to use it for?" I helped him find the right concrete. This store puts some in the building materials department, and some in the friggin' paint department. This poor man couldn't find anyone in build mat. My husband and I helped him find what he was looking for and put in his cart. He thanked us and went on his way. Not crazy drama like a bunch of stories here, but something that made me laugh. The next one is titled, "People in scrubs are allowed to get blood work, too." Really? I am a counselor at a hospice. We wear scrubs and name tags on lanyards. I needed to get blood work done one day and stopped at the regular public lab place after work. At the door I was still clueless about having broken some rule about confusing people. Instead of a reasonable greeting or question, I was asked if I was dropping something off. No. I need to have blood drawn. The woman went into a state of confusion, unable to process. I gave my name. She asked if the lab had closed for some reason. I said I hope not because I need blood work. Here? Yes. I have had blood drawn here before. Did your lab close? Again. I don't have my own lab. What is the problem? Your uniform. I have a job, yes. And I need to have blood drawn. They had a different color and style of scrub, so I did not see the problem. I got past her and went in back to the little vampire desk and it all started again. It was ridiculous. They could not handle the fact that someone in scrubs was not there in a professional capacity. But my big name tag had the logo and name of the company that ran the senior care facilities and my position as hospice counselor big and bold enough for senior eyes to read. Some people have to stay in their paradigm or they go into a brain freeze. The next one is titled, "Don't get someone, but answer all my questions." So I work in a supercenter as a vendor selling another product. I do not get paid from the company whose building I work in. I do not wear their uniform or anything. A woman came up while I was helping another customer. She cut into my conversation and asked me about laptops. Initially I ignored her because I was already talking, then I asked what she needed help with. She asked about the Chromebooks and I told her, "I'm sorry, I work for a different company so I don't have information on this, but I can get someone to help you." She replied, "Oh no, you don't have to get anyone. Can you just answer these 6 questions about the product?" I literally can't. I cannot with this woman. I say, "I'm sorry ma'am, I work for a completely different company and have no information on any of this. I will have to go get someone to further help you." Then I walk away from her. How many times do I have to say, "I don't work here," for you to get that I don't work here? The next one is titled, "I do work here, I'm on lunch." In my state you have to take a lunch within the first 6 hours of your shift. I also work at Home Depot and a lot of customers know me by name and they only trust me to help them out. I just got promoted to a different schedule and department a few months before this conversation. I feel like absolute crap and I'm at about 6.5 hours into my shift when I finally clock out for my lunch. The vending machine gun is refilling the machine, so I head out and get an energy drink and head towards a checkout. This woman starts yelling, "Hey!" She's really trying to get someone's attention. I completely ignore her because right now I'm just a customer. I get to a register and grab a thing of peanuts and I casually look over to see her staring at me and saying, "Hey." Finally, I asked what like any other customer would. Her, "Are you not cutting today? I drove 30 minutes to get you to cut my wood." Me, "No ma'am, I'm off the clock and there's 4 workers in lumber who can help you." Her, "They don't know how to cut wood. They are so far off." Keep in mind we allowed to be 1/4 inch off and extremely accurate cuts are kinda banned. And we always have her free cuts even though it's $1 a cut. Me, "I trained them all. They can all cut your wood." Edwin right there has no probably cutting on the line. Her, "When do you get back on? I'll just wait for you here." Me, "An hour." Complete lie. I take a 30-minute lunch and I don't work in that department anymore. Especially when they have plenty of good workers. Her, "I can't believe I drove all this way just to get nothing cut." And then she keeps going on and on complaining about other store and workers. Me, "I hear you. I also need to go back to my lunch." Her, "Okay fine. Enjoy your new job and I'll go return this wood I guess." I buy my stupid bang and get out of there. With about 10 minutes left of my 30.